Hi, my name is Jim. I've been training animals for almost 20 years. I'm here with my good friend Diablo, and we're here reviewing literally the top 5 best automatic litter boxes in the country. Starting with the size of our automatic litter boxes here, you see the majority of them are just slightly bigger than the litter box you're using right now, except for the robot here. All of our automatic litter boxes are lightweight, easy to move around. Our robot, of course, is a little bit bigger and does require a little bit maneuvering. Space is valuable, and so we're going to actually measure each product here and give you the exact dimensions so we know that it's going to fit in your home or space. And as an added convenience, we've actually measured the dimensions of each litter box itself, so we know you're getting the right size for your cats. When we're talking about these three, the litter box size, the dimensions are really close. This one is actually a little smaller because of the conveyor belt, but even though this one looks big, because everything is on the inside, the internal footprint is actually much smaller. So our first one was pretty simple. A couple of minor hiccups in setting it up, but once we got it all, it was pretty simple. This one was equally as simple, real easy to understand putting it together. Number 3 was much more complicated. It was the directions were not a lot of help, and so it was a little bit frustrating. Number 4 was pretty much just plug it in and you were ready to go. And number 5, our only challenge we encountered there was locating where the plug is. Well, we found out it was underneath, and as long as you remember to plug it in before you put the litter in, it was very easy. So these last 2 came fully assembled, ready to go. No headaches, very convenient. One and 2, pretty standard, kind of traditional, nothing out of the ordinary. Number 3 is pretty compact, not a lot of space, unusual design. If you're a Star Wars fan, this is definitely a product for you. A lot of women might find this a little bit big for their liking. The modern egg-shaped design on number 5, again, very simple to use and not real obtrusive, and so not a bad point at all. Yes, we're waiting on you. Yeah. So, introducing your cat to a new litter box, having the hoods on, a lot of cats seem to acclimate to those a little bit better. This one has no hood, and maybe it's a little more helpful if you did have the hood. This one is a little bit smaller, so it could be a problem. And this one is just kind of really out of sorts. It's big, it's up high, and can be very challenging for cats. So, speaking of which, yes. As an animal trainer, safety is paramount. The first 2, the cleaning rake moves relatively quicker than these other 2. So there's a little bit of a safety concern there. This one is really slow. This one has weight sensors on the bottom, which will detect that the cat is in there, so it will not turn on. This one, on the other hand, it moves pretty quickly. And so obviously there's a big safety concern there. The biggest concern here is that because this entire unit turns, that could really spook the cat, or in a worst case scenario, the cat could get a foot or a paw or a tail stuck in something moving. So we're going to talk about the core strength of each of the automatic litter box cleaners. Number 2 was a little bit underpowered, and sometimes the waste stays at the bottom of the tray. Unfortunately, that means sometimes the motor and the rake gets clogged up and doesn't follow through. Number 3 is the power is good, but sometimes the clumped clay in the litter from the urine falls out of the conveyor and onto the floor. Number 4, overall the strength is very good out of our 5 tested items here. In some cases, the feces is piled up and it blocks the sensor, and that can be a headache. And then our last item, number 5, because of the angle of the rake, it typically has better pulling power. Because of the tray design, the torque gives more power to this unit and therefore does a little better job cleaning. Cleaning times, both number 1 and number 2, both clean themselves in 1 minute. The cycle time on number 3 can be up to an hour, which is a little slow. Number 4 is about 2.5 minutes, and number 5 is about 5-minute cycles. Number 3 and number 5 were by far the quietest, made very, very little noise. Number 1 and number 2 made a little bit more noise, not much, but maybe 3 times what they did, but still relatively. The robot is a lot louder at 5 times the noise. Odor-wise, no cover or hood on this one, and that could be an issue for some folks. These 2 all have the hoods, and so that's not a big deal. Robot overall is really good, keeping the smell in and going, and once the robot does its job, it's out of sight, out of mind. With number 3, we have the litter tracking and spillage, but also sometimes it falls off the belt and onto the floor as well. So a lot of concerns as far as that goes here. For number 2, without the hood, and the ramp is knocked off fairly easily, so the tracking and the spillage is kind of a major concern here as well. Number 1 is pretty easy. It's just pulling out the whole box, tossing it, and then replacing it. Pretty simple. Number 2, not a lot of room to store a lot of the droppings in there, and because of not having a lot of depth for litter, it can be a little high maintenance in cleaning the bottom of the pan every week. Number 3 can be very challenging. You literally have to take it apart, clean out the bowl, and then put it all back together. And as we remember, that can be pretty time consuming. Number 4 is a big machine, but it's even a bigger task to take it apart, clean it, and put it back to putting it all back together, which generally can take anywhere from 30 minutes to a whole hour. A pretty daunting task in itself. And so many people would arguably say that it's much easier to just manually scoop the old litter box than trying to take this thing apart and putting it back together. Number 5 is pretty simple to clean out. Everything can be hand washed except for the base part, and because of the electrical and computer components in, you have to hand wipe them very gently. But other than that, it's a pretty simple and easy, quick clean. Number one, our overall durability is very acceptable for the first year. Number two had our lowest rating for durability. Most people found that some of the parts started wearing off in just a few months. And very poor because of the low power of the motor. It wasn't always able to clean and didn't often last through the warranty. So number three, quite frequently the waste clogs up on the conveyor belt and causing spillage onto the floor. Overall, the functionality of number four is pretty high marks. However, long term, with the sensor issues, leaves a lot of people frustrated at the price. In some cases, the globe stutters, and that can be very annoying to some people. In some cases, the app connectivity with your smartphone does not work as well as planned, and that can make it very frustrating. Sometimes with the sensor issues, you find yourself having to unplug and plug back in the unit to reset it, and it just another headache. Number five is a new version of the automatic clean litter box, so there's not a lot of long-time user reviews out there. My personal experience, the streamlined feature structure of the unit and the money-back guarantee makes you feel pretty comfortable using it. All of the products here have a 1-year warranty, except for the robot, which offers a 18-month. However, number four and number five are the only ones that are offering a money-back guarantee. Number one offers the privacy hood as well as a times visited counter for your cat or cats. For number two and number three, I didn't notice anything notable features other than the self-clean. Number four, the notable features include sleep mode, which can be very handy. Also features adjustable cycle times of 3, 7, and 15-minute intervals. It also has some blue mood lighting to make sure you enhance your feline's litter box times. And also the app will track usage with your cats. Number five, some of the features include that it automatically stops when your cat is in there. The streamline feature is very, very low electrical usage. For 500 cycles, it only uses 1 kilowatt of energy. It also features a house log, so it's not only tracking your cat's weight, but the weight of your cat's fecal droppings. For households with younger cats or bringing young kittens into it, a lot of times the weight sensors won't pick up after that, but with this one, because it automatically cleans itself 4 times a day, that's not a problem. Now let's talk about the important stuff, the price. Number one, our price is $169.95. Number two is their price is $79.95. Number three is $99.95. The robot is $499. If you want to go with the ramp, it's $49 for the ramp. The essential bundle for the robot is $629, and if you go all out, the exclusive package is $900. Number five is $299. We have to disclose maintenance costs, and all of these automatic litter boxes have replacements parts involved, and we're going to talk about that right now. Number one has the highest maintenance costs. With the custom-made disposable trays, you're looking at an annual investment of about $520 per year. The trays cost $20 each, and if you're replacing them every other week, you're looking at your maintenance cost of about $520 a year. Here you have to buy the official replacement receptacles, and an 18 count is about $29, and so you're looking at an annual cost of about $125. Number three, there's virtually nothing to replace, so your annual maintenance costs are zero. To replace the carbon bags and the sealant strips on this, it's only $65 a year. For number five, the only replacements parts are plastic bags, and if you're recycling your plastic bags anyway, your annual maintenance costs are zilch. So we will do the calculation for you for an average lifespan of 3 years for each product, and we're going to show you those on the screen right now. To summarize, we're just going to give you our best rankings for the automatic litter boxes. It's ranked number 5 because of the small litter box size, and because it easily spills and clogs. Even though it had the lowest price, we ranked it number 5. Number 2, we ranked it a number 4. It works good, however, because of no hood and the weak motor, it didn't clean as well as it should. The motor is too weak, it breaks down too easily, and so that's why we made it our number 4 ranking. After some usage, the noise level can be a little bit too much to bear. Because it lacks the hood, it does not control the spillage, and it does not control the odor or the privacy for cats. For ranking number 3, it's a good machine, good privacy. However, the operating costs make it a little bit of a downside. For ranking number 2, we gave it to the robot here because of the robust cleaning almost justifies the price. But our main concern here would be the safety of cats inside. Although a bit noisy, I can tolerate that. What worries me the most is a cat getting stuck inside. Don't want to worry about your cats when they're in this. Our number 1 ranking, it's an overall well-designed redesign of the automatic cleaning litter box, and it does a great job of cleaning itself. Much quieter than the other models. You can hardly hear it when it's working. The only downside is that the litter tray is 10% smaller than most litter boxes, but as long as your cat is under 15 pounds, it should work fine. I really like the modern egg-shaped shell. It really stands out compared to other traditional litter boxes. And I can't help but taking photos of my cats next to its unique design. Winding up, thank you so much for watching. We hope our insights have helped you make an informative decision. Feel free to leave us comments if you have any questions or concerns.